In what feels like a culmination between the classic platforming of Sonic the Hedgehog and the modern challenge of something like Celeste, comes Grapple Dog. This is a new indie from Medallion Games about a derpy little pup with a ton of heart. Oh, and of course, a grapple gun. Dive into a wacky yet charming 2D platformer developed under the slightest hint of nostalgia for the era of Sega Genesis platformers. Our story begins with Pablo, a silly little dog exploring the crumbled ruins of some mysterious land. He's not the brightest explorer, but his hero determination is infectious and leads him to a bit of a sticky situation when he comes across a grappling hook but awakens an ancient evil in the process. Revealed to be the evil robotic Null, he quickly destroys the civilizations around him, embarking on a quest to collect the ancient artifacts needed to rule the world. With nothing but his grapple hook and determination at his side, Pablo goes after Null, hoping to fix the mess he caused and save the world in the process. While it's not going to win any writing awards soon, Grapple Dog is charming and evokes the sense of nostalgia. If you grew up playing any of the 90s era platformers on Super Nintendo or the Sega Genesis, this story will feel reminiscent. You got your lovable mascot character, their one specific toolset or move, and a convoluted story that I'm sure will make you chuckle at least a few times across its 11-hour playtime. Grapple Dog is presented in this traditional SNES era 2D platformer presentation. You get a wide view of the map broken down into worlds and sub-levels within said world. Using the ship along with the help of your friends, you'll travel across 6 different worlds or terrains, each with their own biomes that completely alter the vistas around you. Our little puppy is cute, but is by no means someone to mess with. Jumping causes him to roll up into a ball, and just like Sonic, is able to destroy enemies with it. Pablo's grapple hook allows him to grab onto nearby enemies, certain blocks, and even balloons that help you reach faraway places. The hook can be angled in various 45-degree increments and tends to lock onto nearby objects. While it's really fun to use to swing across platforms and even get to jump on enemies, the system can be a bit finicky at times, as if you're not angled perfectly under or diagonally to a target, the game might struggle a bit to figure out where you're trying to go. Each level also houses these purple gems that go towards unlocking progression of later levels. Like the stars in some Mario games, the purple gems level gate certain sections of the game, so if you speedrun through it, expect to have to go back and replay some levels in order to get the needed amount of gems to continue on. I've never been a big fan of level gating, but I found collecting the gems pretty easy enough here that I never felt stumped by anything even when I wasn't really focused on collecting the needed gems. There are also bonus stages here that reward you with gems for completing quickly timed challenges like collecting all the objects in a room or defeating all the enemies in a room within a time constraint. As you reach the end of the world, you'll be welcomed with a boss fight featuring one of the grand evil robots standing in your way. These battles were fun challenges that interlooped new and interesting ideas, helping to keep later sections of the worlds entertaining. With plenty of callbacks to various platforming franchises over the years, Grapple Dog often felt like a love letter to the games that helped inspire it. Where Grapple Dog does begin to struggle a bit is in its lack in evolution for Pablo's abilities. You don't really see his moveset evolve beyond the grapple hook, so much of the variety in the second half of the game comes from the locations and the platforming obstacles rather than our Puppo himself. With that said, I will commend Grapple Dog for its myriad of accessibility options that make the experience approachable for just about any age. The included infinite jumps and health options allows for even the youngest of children or the less technically inclined to enjoy this nostalgia trip without feeling the brutal punishment that tends to come from these older platformers. Grapple Dog features a lovely modern take on the whole pixel art presentation. It uses a fluid animation system both in the foreground animation with Pablo himself, but also the various layers composing the backdrop. The multiple moving elements are subtle at creating this lived-in world that contributed to the lovely presentation. Whether it was the flowers moving along to the wind or the birds fluttering behind as we swung between platforms, it was beautiful. I played my review copy on the Nintendo Switch OLED model, and the performance was locked at 1080p 60 in dock mode, 720p 60 in handheld mode. The visuals tended to use really vibrant color palettes across its 6 different worlds, and while the game looked beautiful on TV, I found myself more inclined to play with the OLED model, specifically because of its better pixel density and vivid display. I know I mentioned the title feeling reminiscent of Sonic the Hedgehog for its speed and battle mechanics, but it doesn't really stop there. The mix of hip-hop and techno tracks feel very familiar to that of the Sonic Rush games on DS that arguably had one banger of a soundtrack. Grapple Dog's music collection isn't as diverse, but it does a great job regardless. As for sound design, I was surprised to actually hear any form of audible feedback when it came to the voice acting. Perhaps it's because not too many 2D platformers like this actually use any form of voice acting, but the simple act of having some barks added while Pablo spoke in cutscenes was appreciated. I think it goes a long way towards the game's presentation, an extra layer of polish if you will, and some sort of incentive to pay attention to the text dialogue. Grapple Dog is a good boy, a good video game, Well, I guess he's both. It's charming in both its ability to present this entertaining 2D world to run through, and the toolset that makes navigating it equally as fun. It feels like classic Sonic the Hedgehog and Celeste mixed together to create this modern take on 90s era platformers. Under the microscope, you're sure to find some things to nitpick here and there, but overall, the experience was an enjoyable time and one I thought was worth going on. In a time where the most popular 2D platformers come from established franchises, it's refreshing to see this alongside them, rivaling classics like Ristar and Vector Man before it.